This was rejected by a storytelling show that airs on PBS. The theme of the show is laughs out loud. The story is called Year One. I've just graduated college with a degree in journalism, and it's time to get a job. My dream job is being a pop culture commentator. What do I think a pop culture commentator is? I think that it's working at Best Week Ever. My assumption is that if you are a talking head on Best Week Ever, then you must be raking in dough. I also feel like I could be one of those people on Behind the Music who says things like, Britney Spears grew up the middle child of Lynn and Jamie Spears in Kentwood, Louisiana, but she never let that get in the way of her dreams of superstardom. This is a job I can do. But they don't have that major at the University of Tennessee, so I get a degree in magazines, which seems adjacent. As a magazine major, there's only one place for me to go: New York City. And as it turns out, lots of magazines want me to work at their offices for free. However, there's one place that agrees to pay me, a men's mag, a lad's mag. Okay, you guys are all mad at me. It's not Playboy, and it's very popular in the US prison system. So that's where I go. During this time, there's this label being thrown around about millennials on all the 24-hour news stations, particularly one, but I'm not going to say who it is. They're not talking about how obsessed we are with 9/11 and our thinning eyebrows. They're saying that because all the boomers handed us these trophies, we're now terrible employees. So we show up to work and we expect benefits and promotions and money, and that is bad. My parents are generally supportive of my move to New York, but my mom gives me this advice. Do not act like an elitist trophy kid. Do not expect anything more than what you are given. When you finish a task, ask for another and say thank you. And my dad adds, yes, and don't be all avant-garde. And I'm like, the font? We're at Caveat, we know what avant-garde is. Okay. I find an apartment in Washington Heights with 3 other roommates, and it takes 45 minutes to get anywhere in the city. My bed is a mattress on the floor, and I love it. But I love my job even more. When I walk into the office on day 1, there's a darkness that I didn't expect, because the lights are like never on. It feels like a frat house vibe, but now I know it's because everyone is always nursing a low-grade hangover. I am stunned the first time I see the editor-in-chief, a man I recognize from Behind the Music and Best Week Ever. And then something even better happens. I text all of my friends, you are never going to believe who's here. It's Sammy Sweetheart from Jersey Shore. So listen, I knew that when I moved to New York, I would eventually make it, but I had no idea that it would literally be on my first day. Things could really only go down from here, and they do. One of my first jobs is to build all the articles for the annual Hometown Hotties contest. Typing up information for girls who are all younger than me and weigh less than me and have better workout routines than me, but I don't care. This is a job that I got myself without any connections. One night, I leave the office, and one of the editors follows me out, asking where I'm going. I tell him that I'm meeting a friend, and then I walk away faster. He catches up and asks me where I'm meeting her. Bryant Park, I say, and then I turn around and walk the other way. Fast. This editor is fired a couple months later, and when they clean out his drawers, they find a weapon. Another time, the cops show up and arrest our fact checker on the spot in the office in front of everyone, for reasons I know, but I cannot tell you here tonight. Anyway, this environment was a truly wild one for a first job. But I don't let these distractions bother me because I'm absolutely hustling. I transcribe celebrity interviews and translate print articles to web, and it is essentially data entry. But I work at lightning speed, so then I'm eventually tasked with also running reader contests, sorting through emails, and then I have to look through the found porn section, and then I have to scour IMDb for hot young actresses. I work nearly a 12-hour day, which is kind of nuts because this is not like a law office. I am literally running a site for softcore porn. But I'm okay with spending all my time at the office because I don't have that many friends, and this makes me feel like I have like a purpose, you know? And it's not even a coincidence that I haven't mentioned to you that I have a boyfriend back home in Tennessee. Every time I talk to him, he says all I care about is New York and the magazine, and it's clear I have no intentions on coming back. And I just tell him, that's not true. On weekends, I walk around Chinatown in Little Italy, sipping on a cappuccino and listening to the Sweeney Todd soundtrack. I go to the Strand to use the bathroom, and then I go home. It's quiet and lonely. There are days that go by where I don't speak to anyone, but my time here feels so temporary that I don't care. But my phone calls home are getting very intense. My dad keeps asking why they haven't hired me full-time, and I just tell him it's because I have to fulfill an internship. But also, didn't my parents tell me not to expect anything? So anyway, my dad and I get in a huge fight, and we stop talking to each other. So then my boyfriend comes to visit, and he absolutely hates it here. He keeps criticizing how crowded it is and says something like, doesn't this place make you feel so small, like you don't matter? Like, how could you possibly enjoy feeling like another rat in the rat race? But I love being a rat, and I don't get and I don't get why he can't see that life is actually happening to me and that I'm finally here in a place I'd read about and watched on TV for years, and I don't get why anyone wouldn't also want this. Anyway, he dumps me. And a week after I get dumped, some friends from college come up to visit. It's the first time that the weather feels like spring, and I'm so excited to walk around the city and show them all my favorite places, like Canal Street and the Strand bathroom. We go out for karaoke in a Japanese restaurant and get drunk. After a couple hours go by, the place is so crowded, and new people keep coming in, and we pass the mic around, and there's this couple there, and they keep hugging us after every song. And I think to myself, I'm actually not a rat. Just look at all this support and community in this big, loving metropolis. After we leave, I realize I've been pickpocketed. My driver's license, credit card, work badge, all gone. Even my student ID that I used to rush Broadway plays, gone forever. Everything sucks, but I can't let it get me down. The internship is ending soon, and I'm seeing the grains of sand run out of the hourglass. Soon, I'll be back in Tennessee trying to get work on the local police blotter. I need to adjust my attitude and bring in like some positivity. So I want you all to say it with me. What do? I join On my first night at Planet Fitness, a man slaps me on the butt. But no matter, I rearrange my schedule and go in the mornings. I begin a routine that makes me happy. Get up early before work, run on a treadmill for a few miles to the new Lady Gaga, 7-Eleven for an iced coffee, and then back to the apartment to shower and head to my real job. What can I say? I'm on the edge of glory. So one day, I get up and I go for a run. I grab my coffee and come home, ready to hop in the shower, but someone else is already in the shower. Someone is taking a really long shower. Someone is taking the longest shower that has ever happened, and at this point, my iced coffee has been drunk in full, and I have to really empty my tank. The shower is showing no signs of ending, and this massive coffee pie isn't going to wait. And you know what happens. I spot a paper bag, I do my business, I crumple it up, and I take it outside to the curb where it becomes a hot, steamy secret for me and you. Why doesn't PBS like this? At this point, I really need a win, and I actually get one. The magazine gives me a full-time job as an editorial assistant, and this feels huge. I can go to the doctor with my own insurance. I can get a bed frame from IKEA. I'm living the dream finally. I call my dad for the first time in months, and I tell him about the job, and he's thrilled for me. I can actually kind of hear like tears like welling up in his throat, like that's how proud he is. This makes me really uncomfortable, so I tell him that I shit in a bag. After he recovers from hearing this, he says, I told you not to be avant-garde. Whatever that means. Thank you.